Okay, I'm going to try to catch up with Jasmine's tags. Jasmine asks, real tree or artificial? I grew up with real trees, and this now is artificial. We had real trees all the way up until my parents got to an age where they did not want to be bothered with the mess. My mom would complain about the pine needles like Jasmine. And she always wanted a small tree, and the rest of us, including my dad, always wanted a huge tree that went all the way to the ceiling. And we had 8 foot ceilings. So we usually got a 7.5 to an 8 foot tall tree, real tree. And I have to say, there's pros and cons of both. One thing I do miss is the scent of pine. To me, that is such a part of Christmas to have that scent in the house. And I miss it with an artificial tree. But the artificial tree, and this one is pre-lit, and it has the options of changing its lights. It has a selection of lights that you could do from this one, which is all colored lights, to this one, which is all white lights, and this one, which is colored and white. So that is very nice to have. Um, so I really like the artificial like this that has the different light choices, but I sure wish they could come up with a pine scent that could go with it. Then it would be perfect. Next question is Christmas away or Christmas at home? We always did Christmas at home. I don't think I've ever had a Christmas away. The only Christmas away that we did was the Christmas family reunions on my dad's side. He had two family reunions a year, one in the Christmas time and one in the summertime. But the Christmas parties and celebrations we had were always at mom and dad's house. Everybody gathered and mom cooked everything from soup to nuts, and our present exchange and everything was done at home. And that was the tradition to do that every Christmas. We never went away for Christmas. Um, I don't know if I would enjoy that. Maybe now that I am older, it might be interesting to go someplace. I don't know. Someplace really they'd have to have decorations and have some type of holiday spirit to it. Um I don't know. I think it would be very cold and strange and impersonal to spend Christmas in a place other than home. It would be interesting, it might be fun. It would depend on who you're with and where you are. That would make it fun. Christmas Day movies or Christmas Day games? I'm pretty sure games for me. I mean, we, as kids growing up, we usually got a new game at Christmas time, so one of the board games. Um, and I find that fun to play games with people. And movies bore the hell out of me. I don't like to sit for an hour and plus staring at a screen. That to me, that is not fun. So, Christmas games. Next is trifle or Christmas pudding. I would have to say Christmas pudding. In my family, there was a tradition from my great grandparents of a suet pudding that had it wasn't a hard sauce. It was more like a caramel, um, what did they call it? Custard caramel sauce. Very sugary, very good, very caramely over the pudding. And it wasn't plum pudding. It wasn't a fruit cake. It was suet pudding, and it had this wonderful caramelized like I can't come up with what it's called, but it was very good. Very similar to Christmas pudding, plum pudding. And I prefer that, I think, to trifle. I've never really had trifle. I watched some videos to educate me more into what trifle is, and it's kind of layers of bread with fruit and like heavy cream and stuff like that. I suppose it would be good, but and a lot of booze. Some of the recipes I saw, the bread gets soaked in a lot of alcohol. I'm not sure I'd like that. I think I prefer pudding. Do you stroll the neighborhood to see the lights? I don't. I only really catch them when I'm out running errands, and it happens to be after dark and people have them on. Up here, I don't really drive after dark that much. I don't go anywhere after dark, and well, I haven't as I've been up here. And it's kind of dangerous a little bit to drive after dark because of the deer. Um, but when I was a kid, that used to be a thing to do. Mom and Dad would pack us kids into the car and we'd drive all around and look at the Christmas lights. But we lived in the city there. Now I'm out in the country, so uh, I like it. I think it's fun to do. I don't really like a lot of the decorations people use today. I'm not a fan of those big blow up canvas plastic figures. I think those are ugly. And I'm not a fan of how people do the lights, even. I'm more traditional, as you can tell. I have candles in my window. Um, I like lights to be in evergreen bushes, and I like them to be staggered like my tree is. I don't like things in straight lines. I don't like lights along the in straight lines around the windows or along the gutters or eaves of the house. I think that's ugly. I think it's tacky. And I don't like it when people overdo, which is the popular thing, to have a million lighted figures in your yard and every possible thing lit up. I think that's tacky and ugly. I think it's much more tasteful and pretty to put lights in your shrubs and like candles in your windows. And if you're going to have figures, I'd like them to be made out of wood and painted, not plastic, not blow up canvas. I'm old fashioned. Okay, those are my answers to last week's tag. Bye.